I will withdraw, I pledge to withdraw from the Colorado GOP primary ballot unless and until Trump's name is restored. And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie and Nikki Haley do the same thing, or else these Republicans are simply complicit in this unconstitutional attack on the way we conduct our constitutional republic.
Hey everyone, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and welcome back to another episode of What Was That? The Colorado Supreme Court has kicked Donald Trump off the state's 2024 primary ballot for violating the Constitution's 14th Amendment. But the more interesting part of this whole thing is how some Republicans are responding, like Trump's surrogate Vivek Ramaswamy begging the other Republican candidates to remove their name from the ballot as well.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Now, do I think that Trump is an insurrectionist and a threat to the very fabric of our democracy?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And I'm not alone, because remember, Republicans in the House and Senate both agreed that Donald Trump violated his oath of office immediately before, during, and immediately after January 6th. And despite what Republicans are crying about, the Colorado Supreme Court's decision was not politically motivated. The plaintiffs were either no party affiliated or lifelong Republicans who voted for Trump. So when Trump's appeal ultimately ends up before the 6-3 conservative-leaning Supreme Court, I do expect them to reject the ruling. Even though the Colorado Supreme Court cited Trump-appointed Justice Gorsuch's ruling from 2012 as cover for its decision to kick Trump off the ballot. So when the ruling was announced, my first response was, Republicans are going to retaliate. And that's exactly what happened. It's been reported that there was a disgusting flood of death threats made against the 4 judges on Colorado Supreme Court that banned Donald Trump from the ballot. Once again proving that Republicans are insane. And then there's also Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Seeing what happened in Colorado tonight, Laura, it makes me think, except we believe in democracy in Texas, maybe we should take Joe Biden off the ballot in Texas for allowing 8 million people to cross the border since he's been president. Disrupting our state.
Threatening to take someone off the ballot just because you disagree with them makes it kind of hard for anyone to believe that you actually believe in democracy. And then you've also got responses from people like Kellyanne Conway, which was very odd.
Trump on those grounds, or that he's been convicted. So it is in doubt. And when you look at what, I just think the Democrats wake up every morning, Emily, and they look at the calendar, the iPhone says January 6, 2021. The date never changes. And then they get an electric vehicle and go get an abortion. I just described the Democratic Party to you in 7 seconds. That's it. That's what I see.
And if you're thinking, wow, Kellyanne Conway is vile, well, guess what? You're not alone. Her ex-husband and daughter think so too. True story, my car was recently stolen, so I just want to apologize to all my fellow Democrats for falling behind on my abortion quota this month. But the one response that has had me laughing hysterically is from Vivek Ramaswamy. He pledged to withdraw his name from the Colorado ballot in solidarity with Trump. This might be the funniest and saddest thing that I've ever seen him do. And keep in mind, this is the guy who forgot to mute himself in the bathroom while on a Twitter Spaces live stream with Elon Musk, Alex Jones, and a slew of other right-wing conspiracy theorists.
Gentlemen, I have to go.
Yeah, I just want to be sort of, yeah, exactly. I want to be clear about my position. I'm super pro-human, and I mean all humans. You know, humans in America, humans in
Somebody's
Africa,
got their thing
Asia,
open.
and everywhere
Somebody's
else.
got their phone open in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's Vivek. Vivek, that's your phone, Vivek. I'm not able to mute you. Vivek. All right, perfect. Go ahead, Elon.
Sorry about that.
So, well, I hope you feel better.
I feel great. Thank you.
So I guess that makes Vivek even more like Donald Trump. They both have their very own P-tape, but their bond goes way beyond being men of the people. As I've said before in my show, Vivek is just a plant who is doing Trump's bidding on the campaign trail. He'll happily attack the other candidates, but never Daddy Trump.
Between George Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump, those are the presidents of the 21st century. Donald Trump is unambiguously, as judged by the results, the best president of the 21st century. I think Donald Trump was the single greatest president we've had in my lifetime. President Trump, I believe, was the best president of the 21st century. I have respected Donald Trump more than anybody else in this race because he was the best president of the 21st century. I've said that before, and I will say it again because it's the right thing to do. We will honor that legacy.
Again, kind of weird to say that Trump is the greatest president of the 21st century while you're also running against him.
You are clearly in cahoots with him. Ooh, a lot.
Don't take my word for it, just see for yourself.
They have just tried to bar President Trump from the Colorado ballot using an unconstitutional maneuver that is a bastardization of the 14th Amendment to our U.S. Constitution. This was a provision, Section 3, that was designed to bar Confederate members, people who switched to the Confederacy, from actually being able to serve. That's very different than what's at issue here, to say the least. This is a hollowed out husk of what the country was built on. The basic principle that we, the people, select our leadership, not the unelected elite class in the back of palace halls. That's old world Europe, not the United States. That's why I'm making a pledge today that I will withdraw, I pledge to withdraw from the Colorado GOP primary ballot unless and until Trump's name is restored.
You know what? In solidarity of Vivek, I would like to formally withdraw my name as potential host of the 2024 Academy Awards. Wait, Jimmy Kimmel is hosting? Son of a...
And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie and Nikki Haley do the same thing, or else these Republicans are simply complicit in this unconstitutional attack on the way we conduct our constitutional republic. I refuse to be complicit in that. I think what they're doing is wrong, and I think it's up to Republicans to step up and stand up with a spine for our country's future. That's really what's at stake, whether we, the people, actually have a say in deciding who leads this country. Yes, it would be easier for other Republicans like me who are running in this race to say, hey, if Trump is sidelined, there's our opportunity. No doubt other candidates are probably privately celebrating with their corporate sponsors. That's not the right thing to do. I think the most useful thing that every GOP candidate can do right now is to join me in that pledge. I'll say that I will withdraw from that Colorado GOP primary ballot until Trump's name is restored. This belongs to the people, not to the unelected Democratic cabal of judges in Colorado or any other state. And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley and Chris Christie do the same thing, or else they're complicit in what this security state is trying to do to shut down Trump. I stand by that, and I expect them to do the right thing.
I'm sorry, but this has to be the most idiotic thing that I've ever seen, and I watched Elon Musk tell advertisers to go f*** themselves.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself.
But
go f*** yourself.
Well, that's certainly not the approach I would have taken, but hey, no one said Republicans were smart. Also, did I miss the memo on leather bomber jackets being in style, or is this just a right-wing thing? Look, it's easy for the guy trailing in the polls to act like a martyr making some grand and noble gesture by removing his name from the ballot. So if Vivek is actually planning to withdraw his name from the ballot, then all I have to say is...
Do it.
And why stop there? Please go ahead and remove your name from every ballot, because I doubt anyone will miss you or your annoying campaign tactics. Seriously, we don't need another clout-chasing candidate spreading dangerous lies and ridiculous conspiracies that have been debunked countless times. Vivek is living in a fantasy world if he believes that Christie, Haley, or DeSantis would ever willingly remove themselves from the ballot in solidarity. And if it was the other way around, trust me when I say Trump would sooner tell Down Jr. that he loved him than voluntarily withdraw his name from the ballot for Vivek. And the most that Vivek got from Trump was a post on Truth Social that said, "Thanks, Vivek." Seriously, Vivek is dreaming if he ever thinks that anyone would ever follow that absurd plan. And speaking of dreams, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Beam. Sleep is the foundation of our mental and physical health. When you are sleeping well, you can perform at your best, mentally and physically. Proper sleep can also increase focus, boost energy, and improve your mood. Introducing Beam's Dream Powder, a science-backed, healthy hot cocoa for sleep. If you know me, you know that Dream has been a game changer for my sleep. Beam is not only delicious, but it's also helped me fall asleep and stay asleep through the night, which then boosts my energy and mood the following day. And today, my listeners get a special discount on Beam's Dream Powder. Their science-backed, healthy hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Better sleep has never tasted better. Other sleep aids can cause next-day grogginess, but Dream contains a powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, melatonin, and nano CBD to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. The numbers don't lie. In a clinical study, 93% of participants reported Dream helped them get better sleep. Beam Dream is easy to add to your nighttime routine. Just mix Dream into hot water or milk, froth, and enjoy before bed. Find out why Forbes and New York Times are all talking about Beam and why it's trusted by the world's top athletes and business professionals. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Gabe and use code Gabe at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Gabe and use code Gabe for up to 40% off. So when it comes to Vivek removing his name from the Colorado ballot, I can only imagine how that conversation would go at the Secretary of State's office. Hey boss, looks like we just got a request from the Ramaswamy campaign to remove his name from the ballot. Who? Vivek Ramaswamy. Sorry, not ringing any bells. You know, the guy that said 9/11 and the Jan 6 insurrection were an inside job. Oh, the Trump plant. I thought he dropped out already. Guess not. Anyway, the fact is, no one in Colorado is gonna even know that Vivek is missing if he actually removes his name. But like I said earlier, I fully expect the Supreme Court to overturn Colorado's ruling, which means that Vivek will probably never actually have to follow through with his pledge. And no matter how much Vivek begs the other Republican candidates, they're not gonna drop out. Just listen to Ron DeSantis.
We're the #1 rated state for education in the country. That's what happened. We are #1 ranked in the country. Excuse me, I'm not finished. I'm doing my thing. No, stop it, stop it.
Sorry, wrong clip. That was actually DeSantis in Iowa being unable to handle a heckler, which should give everyone confidence in his abilities to handle international relations as president.
And real quick, fellow GOP 2024 presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy saying he will remove himself from the Colorado ballot unless Trump's eligibility is restored. Would you do the same?
No, I think that's just playing into the left. I think the case will get overturned by the Supreme Court, but I've qualified for all the ballots. I'm competing in all the states, and I'm going to accumulate the delegates necessary. That's the whole name of the game in this situation.
As you can imagine, DeSantis needs all the help he can get, so he's never going to commit to Ramaswamy's plan.
I'm referring to the fact that many other candidates have now referred to their project in Colorado of being one of collecting delegates. Well, I think there's something deeper at issue here. I think the right answer should be to say that we don't tolerate this form of election interference in the GOP primary. And the easiest way to solve that problem, to nullify the effect of that election interference, is for no GOP candidates to participate in a primary that's rigged. I think other candidates have refused to make that same commitment as me, and I think it reveals that this may be part of their plan, which I don't think is actually what most of the Republican voters want. We don't want a rigged primary. We want one where the people who elect the government leaders are the ones who actually get to choose who leads the government.
The voters did choose in 2020 who gets to lead the government, and it was President Joe Biden. It was Donald Trump who went against the American people when he chose to launch a coup and try to overturn the results of the 2020 election. But I want to remind everyone of Vivek's own words that he used in his book regarding Jan 6, elections, and Republicans being sore losers and playing victim.
You wrote, "The fact that all of our governmental institutions so unanimously found no evidence of significant fraud is telling. Furthermore, I've talked to many Republicans at all levels of government, and not one has ever presented convincing evidence that the 2020 election was stolen from President Trump. Very few have seriously tried. I don't believe that most Republican politicians actually think the election was stolen. We use stolen election theories as a backdoor to embracing our own victim identity path, pursuing an easy path to power." Throughout this entire book, you mock the entire January 6th aspect. You absolutely criticize Donald Trump for being a sore loser. You write about it in a way of making your point that we've become a nation of victims. The Republican Party seems to be moving towards the position that any races it wins are legitimate and any it loses were stolen. It's just the preferred conservative brand of victimhood, a knee-jerk kind of sore losing more common to playground than great republics.
So to use Vivek's own words again, the Trump colluding troll can...
Shut the f*** up. At a certain point, just shut the f*** up.
Well, that's all for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to follow me at I am Gabe Sanchez. If you liked today's episode and want to support me and the work that I do, you can join my personal Patreon and pick your tier to unlock exclusive content and perks not available to the public. You can subscribe today at patreon.com/IamGabeSanchez. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been... What was that?